Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us here at Transwest Truck Trailer RV of Frederick, Colorado. My name is Michaela. This morning we're going through a brand new 2026 Logan Coach 3-horse gooseneck Bullseye. This one is still available, just arrived over the weekend on Saturday, so hasn't been spoken for. You guys keep an eye on this video and this trailer. If you have any questions, all my contact info pops up at the end of the video as well as the beginning for your reference. But before we get to the trailer, I'm just going to run through a couple quick numbers. This one's going to be standard size, so we're looking at 6'9" wide and 7 feet tall. Really manageable floor length, just being your standard front tack. The total from hitch to bumper, the total overall length nose to tail on this guy is still shy of 24 feet. So a great compact size on the floor. You're only looking at 15.8. And then you've got your front tack here with everything that swings out. A lot of the features that you guys love on these are that it's just so accessible right here from the get-go. Starting here at our door, this door does swing open and stays open on a holdback. Right now we are on a bit of a slope, so this door would typically go ahead and swing shut, but it's got that holdback that holds it nice and flush. I really like that it holds it well up against this trailer, so it's not gonna kind of set out here like a 45 and then catch the wind. Mine tends to set at this angle, and where I have it parked at my house, it catches a breeze. I start to worry about that holdback, but with this one right here, I don't worry about that as much. You got your sliding bus window right behind your blanket bars. I say it in all my videos, and I love it for the feature that it is right here behind your blanket bars. So when you are headed home from a long trail ride, a long day at the Gymkhana or horse show, you got all your sweaty pads on here, you can go ahead and slide that bus window open and get some air moving across your pads, help dry them out before you guys get home. These blanket bars do swing open as well. So if you did want that nice being able to reach aspect right here, you got your horses tied on your tie rings over here. I know how it is when you go to unsaddle your horse, it kind of all comes together, especially after a long ride. Your pads come with your saddle. Ends up being a lot of a headache if they have to go to different locations. You have to separate them. One ends up on the ground. Really easy right here. You can just throw your saddle back on. Your pads are right here, and then you can be back to 2 hands and free. Nothing ends up on the ground. So I really like that they both fold open to the same spot right here. But when you're done with these, they're gonna go ahead and swing back shut, and then they have a double-ended snap, so you can clip them open and then they'll stay up against that door, and they're not gonna go swinging around as you're driving. Down below, we do have your brush tray with removable carpet. This guy comes out, you guys, so if you do spill fly spray, mane and tail dangler, get some dirt from your hoof pick, you guys can take that out, spray it off, let it dry, throw it back in there. But I love my brush tray, again, so that everything folds out. It's completely eliminated my need for like a grooming tote or a grooming bag that sets on the floor in there and then tips over, slides around, spills. I throw everything in here. So I've got all my fly spray, mane and tail dangler, hoof picks, curry comb, soft brushes. I've got extra conchos, Chicago screws, rubber bands, mane and tail bands, all the things I've got in there, and I love just having it right here outside of my trailer. Works great for me. And then also your swing out saddle racks. They're coming out here. You're not having to climb in and out, especially if you got your heavier saddles. This one being 6'9" wide, it has your full length running board, so you have that step getting up in there, but it is taller. So it's just nice with the convenience, not having to carry your heavy saddle up in and out of your trailer. These saddle racks on these Logans are fully adjustable as well. So all you're doing is coming to the back, no tools required, just your bare hands. You're just gonna loosen that guy right there, and then just gotta find the right angle, but slide this guy up and down wherever you want. And then you're just gonna screw that back in nice and tight. And now you can space out your saddles wherever you need to, again, without any tools. So if you did want to space them out, my legs are very long, so my stirrups are very long. My lower one tends to drag my stirrups in and out, so I typically like to raise this one. But then I also have barrel saddles with taller horns, so being able to watch that is nice. And again, door clearance up here. But just having the versatility and adjustability to change this how you need to, and it's not just set from factory, is always great. But we'll go ahead and step inside and take a look at what we got in here. You guys are gonna notice that same carpet that was in our brush tray is in here as well. Also, and I don't know if I can get my fingers under there, but this is removable as well. So I've had a lot of customers just straight up take this out and use the Vortex lining floor instead. This will sweep off or blow out a lot easier. But if you're using this kind of as your changing room, dressing room, and you want that carpet in there, Just know if it gets dirty, you guys can easily pull this out, same as your brush tray, spray it off, dry it out, and throw it back in here and keep it clean and looking nice. But I do like that, I always say marine grade because it's a lot shallower, so stuff's not really gonna get stuck in there near as easy. And then you've got your carpet carried up on your drop wall and to your deck as well. So if you guys were looking at maybe overnighting in here once in a while, camping at a trailhead, spending the night at a horse show that was far away, you've got that nice carpet in here. I've done it in my trailer. You've got those sliding bus windows on each side, so you guys can pop those open for ventilation, get your air moving. And then you've got a light up there in the nose. And while we're right here, I'm just going to point out your light switches. They're going to be right here. So you've got one that controls your lights that's right outside your door here, and then this one's going to control those interior lights. So nice that your switches are right here. If you were spending some time up in here, you had your light on, getting settled, you could just come over here and flip that off without having to climb back down and across your tack room over there. Back to our partition wall right here. We've got one full row of bridle hooks up high right here with that same carpeting behind. So over here, your carpeting being on your wall is going to protect whatever equipment you hang on these bridle hooks. So you think about your bits, your conchos, Chicago screws, your snaps, anything like that that's metal that's going to hang right here. If it were just aluminum, it would get to, the metal would get to swaying back and forth. They'd end up rubbing each other and causing damage to your tack as well as your trailer. So this carpet's just going to longevity, protect your trailer, protect your equipment. Also keeps it a lot quieter for your horses on the other side of this wall. They're not going to hear that loud metal on metal contact. And I know I actually read a few posts on Facebook yesterday. A lot of people are out there talking right now about actually getting in their horse trailer, close to home of course, or on their property, not down the highway, but getting in their trailer and just riding around for a block or two and listening and feeling and seeing how things are back there for their horses. So Logan has gone ahead and just done this carpet to keep it quieter. Whatever we can do to make it more comfortable for your horses back there, we really do try and do that. You guys will notice we have this hose up here. It is a shorter hose, but you're still gonna get, it's 4 feet. You'll get enough to get outside of your tack room from your water tank, but you've got a direct fill up here, straight into this water tank, 28 gallons. And then your hose down below, you've got 2 spigots, so you can just set a bucket right here under this one. It's got enough clearance here, you could go that route, but then you have that 4-foot hose up there to hook onto here, run it out your tack room. If you do go for a longer hose, I know my trailer at home, I believe I've got like a 10-foot hose or an 8-foot, it's pretty long. Just don't get the grow hose, don't get one that expands. This is gravity fed, so it's got good pressure, but not enough to expand a hose. So make sure you do get a solid hose like this if you want to get that longer one. Fill water buckets that way, fill your dog water, even rinse your horses off. You could do that with that water as well. It's got pretty good flow coming out. I know I've used it to water my horse. He can drink really fast, but that water tank still fills the buckets faster than he can drink. So again, it's got enough pressure to where you could rinse a horse off after your long trail ride, your gymkhana, or your horse show. But that's your front tack that's got all the features you could need up there. Working our way back to the rest of our horse trailer side, we've got an additional light over here over our tie rings, so good visibility on the exterior as well as inside that tack room. Then we've got those sliding bus windows on tail side. So these guys will slide open to 50% there, get that ventilation across their backs and across their hips, get that air movement, dry them off, keep them cooler, or keep them closed on mornings like this and keep it a little bit warmer in there for them. We've got 3 tie rings per side, so you guys can tie up on either side. Of course, this is the side with your tack room, but if you guys are trail riders, you know I've had this conversation with many customers, especially here in Colorado. They like to put boulders all around those parking lots, and then their horse trailer spaces are about this far apart. So if you did get parked on top of somebody, parked on top of a boulder, you have to tie on the other side, you can, because you have the versatility with those tie rings on both sides. This trailer is that silver metallic color. I've seen this color come in a few times lately, and I do really like it. It always catches my eye. I love the silver, especially combined with your black accent wheels down here. It gives it a really nice color contrast. For those of you that do drive silver tow vehicles, you guys want to match your truck at home, we do have different sheeted exterior sheet options for that, but the silver's been a favorite of mine. You've got the black aluminum wheels down below. That is an upgrade from the standard steel wheels. You guys can go regular aluminum or the black spoke wheels. And then being your 6'9" wide, you're gonna have your full wheel well outside of this trailer. We'll go ahead and make our way back to our load space here though. We've got two 50/50 doors as we step around. Both of them fold nice and wide open. Give your horses a lot of confidence stepping in and out of this space. You guys can see right now we have this one as a step up. We can get ramps from Logan. We can get them ordered, get them shipped out here on an inventory trailer and add them here on our lot if you guys were wanting that ramp feature versus our step up. That's always something you can do. And then our floor on this one is gonna be a wood floor. But you guys will notice it looks a little bit different because it's sprayed with their black Vortex lining. They do this on the top of the floor. So this side right here is coated in that lining. What that's gonna be doing for you guys is protecting that wood. It is still treated wood, but having the Vortex on top is just gonna add an additional layer of protection, help it last a lot longer for you guys. Being a Logan dealer, we do see a lot of Logans come in on trade. I've never seen one that's needing a new floor. Maybe seen one or two other manufacturers needing a board or two here and there, but the wood does last a long time. Haven't had any complaints with it, and just being sprayed with that stuff just helps protect from that urine that will soak through your rubber mats here and get to that floor. But we've got those rubber mats on top. Once a year, we do always recommend just pull these guys out, spray them, inspect that floor, and then throw them back in. This last divider here is a telescoping divider, which means this part right here, this bar part, is gonna slide into itself and allow this divider to lay flush up against that wall with your doors closed. So all you're doing is picking up on this ring right here and then pushing that part in. They already have the D-rings and the double-ended snaps installed. So all you have to do is slide that divider in and clip it open. It's gonna stay flush against that wall. And as you can see, you can still have this door all the way closed right here with these dividers open. So if you were looking to haul a mare and a foal, or in my case, last spring, I had a 2-year-old that I bought that wasn't really halter broke, hadn't been hauled in a trailer. I clipped all these dividers open like this and just turned them loose in here and hauled them home that way. You guys are looking at fitting maybe an ATV in here, a smaller golf cart, a smaller side-by-side. If you're just moving furniture, I've done that in mine before too as well, moved from house to house. You have this wide open space with that feature already being installed. All the way around, you guys can see we have that Vortex lining installed here as well. If you haven't already, and I know I said this a couple weeks ago, I do encourage you guys to check out Logan's social media because they do have a video and they do reshare it frequently of what this Vortex lining does. They take your standard soda pop can, like a Pepsi or a Sprite, something like that, and they'll set it on the ground and then they'll step on it and it smushes. Then they take that can, a new one that's not smushed, spray it in this Vortex lining, put it on the ground, stomp on it, doesn't budge. So that, besides just protecting from horses that kick this wall and scrape it up, it's also adding a lot of structural integrity to this trailer. So I like to make customers aware of that video. Go find it and check it out because it is pretty cool and pretty unique to this product right here. Tail windows are all the sliding bus windows, and then those interior lights, one over each stall. So you guys are getting that visibility inside of this trailer as well. We've seen all our lights outside, now we've got them inside. Each stall is also gonna get a 2-way roof vent. So you have one over each of these horses. They do go 2 different directions. So you can push them open backwards and pull air out of this trailer. You can push them open forwards and pull air into this trailer. These dividers are padded dividers and they are solid dividers. Something else our shop can do, besides adding the ramp, they can also add a rubber mat that hangs from each of these dividers. I've got pictures, I had a customer do it earlier this spring. It's been a few months, but I've got pictures I can send for examples. Our shop does a really professional job of adding a mount right here and then hanging a really thick piece of rubber mat. It's gonna move a little bit because it is not solid like your divider, but it's not a light material that's gonna sit there and sway back and forth. Shipped that trailer to, I believe, Louisiana, and those customers were thrilled with how it looked. They said it far exceeded their expectations of what they had pictured for a hanging rubber mat. So if you guys are looking for that stud stall aspect, our shop can do that here at Transwest. Each stall is also going to have these 3 D-rings for a triangle corner feeder right here. You guys can pick those up at any ranch supply store. You probably could also order them from Logan. And then you're also going to get 1 tie ring per stall. Our shop does install additional tie rings if you guys wanted more. They'll find a good support post to get one mounted for you and install more if you're looking for that. They do also install cameras. I've got one in the shop right now that's adding 4 cameras, 1 over each stall, and then they do 1 back here as a reverse view as well. And what's really nice about this view back here is that it's not only turned on when you're in reverse. It is powered all the time, so you can use it as you're driving forward down the road to see what's going on behind you. I'm going to pull this door shut and show you guys more light switches right here. Looks like my batteries died this morning, but your light switches are right here. This is going to control all of your exterior lights as well as your interior stall lights. We'll go ahead and step around to our head side. So we've got drop down windows over here on head side. They have the jail bars. They also have a built-in window screen that is removable. So it has Velcro right here. You guys can pull that off if you're not someone that likes to use window screens. You guys can easily take those off. I just like them for additional layer of protection and preventing dust and debris from sneaking through these jail bars and getting to my horses' faces. You're just gonna pull straight down on that middle bar. If you want to just drop those jail bars, you can get in there, fill that corner feeder, offer your horses some water, check on them, untie them if you're getting ready to unload them. Very easy to get in there and get full access, and then put those back up before you drive down the road to keep your horses in. If you don't want this much airflow or ventilation, we still have a smaller sliding bus window built in, so you guys can just open that one a little bit, open your tail windows, open your roof vents, and get a little bit of air movement that way. And then you'll notice this bar right here. I've had a lot of customers tell me it looks very easy for me to reach up here because I am 6 feet tall and we're on a slope, so it's even taller now. I can still reach this latch up here. A lot of people probably can't. So Logan has added this bar right here. Now you only have to reach right here. Saves you probably a good foot right there. And all you're gonna do is just gonna pull straight down and it releases that mechanism right there. All of these windows do drop down and they latch into place with this rubber socket right here. So they will stay down as you're driving down the road. They're not gonna catch that air and do the wave effect as you drive. Close one more window, get you guys a real good look at that silver metallic color. We also have these in white and charcoal, which is gonna be a darker version of this gray. And then finishing up front right here, standard, you guys are gonna get a manual crank jack on here. Another upgrade our shop can do at Transwest here is install an equalizer jack for you if you guys are wanting that electric jack. My trailer that I purchased here was traded in as a used trailer. It had a manual crank jack. That is one thing I immediately changed before I even took that trailer home. I said, we're putting an electric jack on it. I don't want to be trying to crank something if I'm running late from work or have an emergency. I want to be able to push a button, hook up, and go. So one thing they'll do on these standard width trailers to fit your footprint of an equalizer jack is they'll move this spare up a little bit higher and get you enough width there to install that. You're also going to get a battery and a battery disconnect switch. I really like having the battery because of this situation here. My battery box died on us this morning, but if you were unhooked, parked at home at your boarding facility, you wanted to tack up, untack, earlier in the morning, late at night, you wanted that visibility, you could run your lights off of the battery without being plugged into your 7-pin. So I also liked that, was an additional feature I got with my equalizer jack. It also has a manual override if you ever needed to do that. But standard, you'll get this manual crank, full-size matching spare tire, and all of this under here is coated in that black Vortex lining. We talked about increasing structural integrity with that. I think it also right here does a phenomenal job of protecting the entire framework of your trailer right here from road debris, rocks from gravel roads, and especially that salt spray in the winter as we're fast approaching winter here in Colorado. The salt spray on the road bouncing up and getting the front of your trailer right there. It's also fully sprayed up here as well on your gooseneck. So really like the feature of that Vortex lining. What you're gonna get with that product is a limited lifetime corrosion warranty on this trailer here being brand new. You're also gonna get manufacturer warranties from Logan, 8-year on your structure and then 2-year hitch to bumper, full coverage on everything else. As I mentioned, this one is still available. If you guys need it in a 2-horse, a 4-horse, a dual tack, a different color, we have options. I would be glad to help you guys out. Please feel free to reach out. You guys can reference this stock number if you want to take this one home specifically. It's 5N215915, your 2026 Logan Coach Bullseye 3-horse gooseneck. My name is Michaela Hall. You guys can call or text my iPhone. It's 303-918-6367. You guys can also email Michaela.Hall@transwest.com. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.